till I fall. Destined to be the greatest, yeah, the writing's on the wall.
What up, everyone? It's the Nation of Podcation Daily Podcast. I'm O'Shea. Make sure you guys hit that like and subscribe button. Former No Limit Records CEO Master P talks about how Suge Knight had Snoop Dogg shook, had him ran up out of LA. Master P says that Snoop Dogg was on a career of self-destruction. Now, as we all know, Snoop Dogg was one of the pioneers for Death Row Records. I mean, when you think about Death Row Records, you think about Snoop, Dre, Pac, and Suge. Dog Pound sprinkled in there too with Nate Dogg as well. But when you think about them, those four, those are the pillars of Death Row Records. And with Snoop Dogg owning Death Row Records, a lot of folks have been talking about Snoop Dogg's time with Death Row back in the day. Well, Master P talks about it because that's what happened back in the day. Snoop Dogg left Death Row Records. He went to No Limit Records, leaving LA, the gang life, all of that behind. He went down there with Master P, kind of turned things around. Master P actually taught him the business, and that's one thing a lot of people credit Master P for, was teaching them business, and he helped save Snoop Dogg because Suge Knight, for Snoop Dogg leaving Death Row Records, he had them bloods on his head, and Snoop wanted no parts of that. Let's take a look at this clip from Master P as he talks about Death Row Records, No Limit Records, the issues with Snoop Dogg, and Snoop Dogg being on a career of self-destruction while he was with Death Row Records. Let's tune in.
Communicated in love. Think about it. It was love. I let Snoop do what he wanted to do. It wasn't about me. I was a fan of Snoop. And I told him, you're not done. So think about it. If I could see a brother and I know he should be at this level and I can help him get to that, then I'm going to do my part because I believed in him. And he put the work in. So he came with us. He made records with us at first. And then I said, what you want to do? I said, man, I don't want to get Dr. Dre. Let's go do it. And we did it. And I think that's the way we got to look at it. Like, even now, Snoop is one of the biggest artists in the world, right? Biggest entertainers in the world. But we come from, being able to show love, and if you down, I'm gonna take care of you. If I'm down, I'm gonna take care of him, and it's like that's how we live, bro. It's not all that other stuff. It's just simple. You know what? It's nothing but God that I was able to do that because he was going on a path of self-destructing because you couldn't see. You got to be able to see 10 steps ahead. So, and that's when you read the Art of War and you live in it. A good soldier prepare for war in time of peace. And so we always just prepare for war. And thank God we don't have to go to war. We ain't had to go to war, but we was prepared.
All right, Nation, there you have it. Master P saying Snoop Dogg was on a career of self-destruction, messing with Death Row, messing with the Crips, messing with the Bloods, all of that mixed in. Suge Knight, Tupac's death, Biggie's death, all of that going on at that time. It was, career heaven for Snoop Dogg to get pulled out of that situation, put himself into that No Limit situation. They were the hottest label at the time. We talking 9-7, 9-8. That was before Cash Money took over. And when Snoop Dogg joined No Limit, it was a moment. It's almost like Kevin Durant joining the Golden State Warriors back in 2017, 2018. You know what I'm saying? You got one of the best rappers, one of the biggest stars in the world joining up with No Limit and Master P, who had the biggest movement at that time. History was made. Those 3 albums, they sold 7 million records with No Limit. Snoop Dogg did 7 million records times $10 an album. That's $70 million for the record label. Do the math. Master P was getting the 80-20 split. So his investment on getting Snoop Dogg that couple million he allegedly paid Suge Knight and Death Row Records to get Snoop Dogg's contract, he made that back over and over and over again. That's talking about a return on your investment. Nation, what do you think about Master P's comments on Snoop Dogg, how he got Snoop Dogg from Suge Knight and Death Row Records? Do you think Snoop Dogg would have suffered that same fate as Tupac or a Biggie if he had to stay with Death Row Records and not left and went down to No Limit? What do you think about Snoop's time with No Limit? Do you think it was a success? Do you think it was mid? Do you think it was trash? I love that era of Snoop Dogg. Obviously, the Doggy Style era was the best to me. That first album was the best Snoop Dogg there ever was. But I did like the No Limit Snoop as well. Slept on the No Limit Top Dog album. I like that one a lot. Anyway, what do you all think about Snoop Dogg joining up with Master P and Master P's Comments Nation? Let me know in the comment section down below. Make sure you all hit that like and subscribe button on your way out.
This is DJ Michael Watts, and when I'm not in the switch house, I'm hanging out with my dog, DJ last name Song.
Girl,